The engagement has been really helpful. I think we've picked a lot of helpful things from uni. We've learned a lot, especially as Gen Zs who like to quit work. So I'm very grateful because I feel like this is very impactful for most of us. And I only have one question because I believe Mimi has covered most, if not all, of the questions we have in our mind. My question just relates to the work-life balance when it comes to working with your colleagues and creating relationships with your colleagues and how to solve the conflicts that arise so that you don't live with enemies around and essentially know how to handle your other employees who work with you. Yeah, that's my question. And how to talk to your boss and how to handle those hard conversations that you do want to handle. Yeah, that's my question.
Thank you for your question. So, with regard to resolving conflicts in the workplace, that's a toughie because not everyone is going to approach things the way I do. I have an open door policy in the office, so we tend to just walk in and talk to each other. I know a few other law firms that have that as well, and that the bosses are open to actually hearing what the employee has to say. For instance, in my law firm, if there's an issue, there's going to be a conversation about it before anything is done. Sometimes I just want to ask, are you okay? Because I'm assuming the reason this happened is because there's something that's happening, there's an underlying problem. I want to see if that's a problem that can be tackled. Do you need a deal? There's someone I sent home for a day because this was just not going to work. You need to go resolve whatever that is because it's not working. You're bringing it to the workplace, right? The attitude, like, so you can tell someone is having a different kind of conflict that's not in the workplace. How many bosses will do that? I don't know. With regard to conflict with your colleagues, have a place for conversations. Conversations can, what does the Bible say? A kind answer turns away wrath. So you've got to approach it. Also, the approach has to be very gentle. Fine, maybe you're the grieved party, but I can't come to you, Karen, like, umenizoea. Like, that will not resolve anything, right? Because you'll also be on your guard. And remember, you're arguing with an advocate. So already they are also now self-representing defense counsel. So it won't work. So you've got to approach it very differently, very diplomatically. Have conversations. The Bible says you first come to your brother. If this doesn't work, involve a third party, preferably a wise, slightly older third party. And very neutral. And that's where wisdom comes in. And then if that doesn't work, then you can now escalate the issue. So that's with your peers, your colleagues, right? Does dispute resolution always work? No, because Gen Z is like walking away. Again, causing us mental health problems when they walk away.
Yeah.
So now with regards to conflicts with your employers, wow. Let me speak from a place where I was as an employee first before I speak as an employer. It was so hard to approach my employer to say there's an issue. But because I'm that open kind of person, I still used to do it. Like Esther, like Esther, be damned. If you want my head, you can have it. But you see, how many people are going to have that kind of confidence, to approach their bosses and say, this is the situation? Very few. So there was that. I don't know how many employers also will be open to actually listening to a genuine grievance that an employee has. So you can approach it by trying. The only way you'll actually know what the genuine reaction or response will be is if you try one-on-one first. If you have an HR, you can try HR. If you have a partner that you feel you can talk to that partner in the firm, or if it's the managing partner you need to talk to, just to see if you can get some kind of resolution to the issue. But make sure it's in private and one-on-one, because also I think if it's an issue with your bosses, it's a challenge if you raise it in a big forum in the presence of other people, because then you put your bosses on guard. So the best thing is to always try to resolve those disputes personally first. So if that doesn't work, then you can raise an alarm about it. Also noting that, because I'm in the gender committee of LSK, we have the LSK sexual harassment and anti-bullying policy. So if the matter actually has reached the threshold of that policy, then there are mechanisms in place for us to be able to deal with those issues.